Hello all. Just a quick one today. Something that quite a few people have been bringing to my attention is this round tube map that was in the news last week. On the one hand, I wasn't planning to do a video because I didn't really have a lot to say about it. But on the other, I feel like if I don't do a video, people are going to keep asking me about it. The story is this. Now, earlier this year I did a video about the Circle to Search line promotion on the Underground, which included a tube map in a circular format. Now, this was not the first time that such a map had been produced. Back in January 2013, a designer and psychologist named Maxwell Roberts had released a similar concept. This is it. This is what you're looking at. Roberts himself says that he was inspired by this design by Jonathan Fisher and a 2004 map of the Paris Metro. Since 2013, he's improved on his original map. Now, most of this information comes from Roberts' own LinkedIn article on the design process, and he covers just about everything I could say about his map there, including basically all the nitpicks I could have. It's something he created as an exercise rather than a serious attempt to replace the current tube map. He's certainly not pushing it as the perfect solution to every problem with the current tube map. I'll link the article in the description and you can see for yourself. I'm also not really a maps person, so I don't think I really have anything useful to add. I'm used to the current map, but I'm just as likely to use the TfL Go app, which also includes things like bus routes. Could this replace the current tube map? Well, maybe. Let's go back to the 1930s. The current tube map, the design icon, was devised by Harry Beck. Beck was a technical draftsman who, like Roberts, created the tube map largely as an exercise. His map was really more of a diagram, bearing little resemblance to geographical reality. But the thinking was that a conventional map is only really useful if you're navigating under your own steam, so to speak. If you're on a train, you don't need to know your exact location or how far it is to the next station, only approximately where the stations and interchanges are relative to each other. So he was able to get rid of most of the extraneous stuff from previous maps and create something more akin to a circuit diagram, which is apparently what inspired him in the first place. Well, as we know, the map was a smash hit, and every subsequent tube map has been derived from that. Even the circular ones, ultimately. Since then, it's become more than something functional. It's become a design icon. It has been copied all over the world. It's been incorporated into other design work on the system. It must be worth an absolute fortune to TfL in merchandise. Beck himself was treated rather shoddily by London Transport, but since then the genius of his design has been recognised. There's a plaque to him at his local station, Finchley Central. There's a locomotive named after him. And, the greatest honour of all, he was portrayed by me in a couple of Jay Foreman's videos. The thing is, no one asked him to draw his map. No one was complaining about how the old maps looked, because that was just how maps did look. People didn't know what they didn't need, if you see what I mean. So sometimes all it takes is one clever person to come up with an idea that's just better. Really though, and once again this is not a remotely original thought, the problem with the map is not the shape of it, but the complexity. Since Beck's first map was released in 1932, the tube has changed enormously. The Northern, Central and Piccadilly lines have all been extended. The Circle, Waterloo and City, Hammersmith and City, Jubilee and Victoria lines have all been added. The Overground, the DLR, the trams, the cable car, the Thameslink and the Elizabeth line are all on there. There are the zone boundaries, the river piers, the out-of-station interchanges, the little coach symbol for Victoria, all are crammed on there. The irony is that as the TfL network has become easier to use, the map has become harder to use. Yet at the same time there's a lot that's omitted. On the standard version of the map, most of the non-TfL rail lines are omitted. The Superloop bus isn't on there. Sure, the map doesn't include bus routes, but I'd argue the Superloop is far more worthy than the cable car. So what do you do? What do you include? What do you omit? Well, I don't know. These are all useful things to know about, apart from the cable car, of course. But personally, I don't think there's any map that will cover it all to everyone's satisfaction. I think the most likely course is that things will go electronic. Touch screens and apps will take the place of a single printed map. But who knows? If there's one thing you can't map, it's the future. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this curvaceous tale from the tube. If so, please do leave a like and consider subscribing for more. I would like as ever to thank my donors on Ko-fi, on Patreon, and here on YouTube for your support. You are the simplification to my tangle of tracks. And I'll see you all again very soon. Cheerio.